So yesterday we covered up to like creating model and doing reverse engineering for Excel file. Sorry, XML. So this is your XML file data. Okay. So here you will get one additional column for every column. You can ignore that. So next step, creating interface. Now you have a source file in model. Then you have a target table. You can create interface and load the data from table to file.
Okay.
So creating new interface to load data from source XML file to target table. Then here I'm going to create a new interface for XML to SQL. So target logical schema, because my staging I'm going to maintain my target logical schema. Then drag your target table into target mapping area, target table into target mapping area. Then source XML file from source model to source mapping area, that is source data store area. Click on auto mapping. So that's it. So this will show warning because it is a file. You can use the trim function or you can ignore this. And then go to flow tab, select LKM SQL. Okay. So you can use SQL for Excel and XML. For file only we will use a file. For the remaining thing we will use for LKM
Fine.
SQL. Then save your interface. Before loading you can truncate the target table. Currently target table having some data. I'm going to truncate this table. See, there is no data in my target table. So I'm going to execute this one. The session started. Go to operator. Check the today's session. Now you can verify this. Okay. It is loaded data from source XML to C dollar table, then C dollar table to target table. Total rows 15 rows. You can go to your target table. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So this is the way we can load data from Excel to database.
Okay. In the source table, I mean, we will have an additional column for each every column.
Pardon?
In the source table, so we will be having a additional column for each and every column, or how is it?
Yeah, for XML it will generate one additional column for row. It is XML tags, right? So it will generate one additional column for every column. Order. You can delete those or you can ignore that.
Okay, order something, it will get appending.
Yeah,
Okay.
every it's like a number it will display. Like this.
Okay.
For example,
Okay,
we
the
are
column
having some employee data. It will display 0 to 14. Like it's like a row ID. For example, you have some null record. It will display 0.
Okay.
See here. High date, all our high date are some of the data are same. That's why you can display 4. You can see all are 2. That is order. It will display.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
So you can ignore those
Does it have
or you
any?
can delete that.
Yeah. Fine, Ravi. Does it has any significance of creating additional column for this?
No, for reverse engineering, it will create that actually. The tags will be
Okay.
there, right? Depending on the tags, it will create that.
Okay. Okay. So it doesn't have any other significance other than that.
No, no. Only thing is while doing the reverse engineering, that tag, what are the, see here, commission is available means it will be there, that commission tag.
Correct.
So that will
Okay.
assign that number. So if you don't have a commission, it will assign default 0. So that is null. There is no order. That's like this.
Okay.
It's a background identification for that particular tag.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
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 So this is for your header. Header means what is your file name, what is your location, and when it's created.
Mm-hmm.
So it will create one set. The set contain all files. For example, if you are using one more file, so that will contain other files.
Okay. So data files, all the XML files.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. So because we have only one right now, it is displaying only one.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay. For Excel and XML, you need to use SQL knowledge model, and we can go for direct reverse engineering using object type as system table. Okay.
Okay.
So this is the way we can go for Excel files. Then related to other hello. Uh, so we'll go for other examples. Subqueries. Okay, we'll go for other examples. Subqueries concept. Implementing subqueries. How to implement subqueries.
Okay. So Excel is also same. Excel we didn't cover it.
Excel also same.
Okay. So what will be the Excel? It's like CSV or it's we can use dot
CSV
Excel
is not
only.
Excel. Excel is separate. CSV is your delimited file.
Delimited, correct?
Yes. So I will show that. That also I will show that.
Okay. Okay.
So okay, we'll go for first Excel, then we'll go for subquery.
Okay.
Excel and our source is Excel file.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
So here you need to use, this is Microsoft Excel technology. So Oracle, for Microsoft, always it will use ODBC driver. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to create one DSN for that. You need to create one DSN for that. For example,
Okay.
here I have one Excel file. Okay. Here I
Okay.
have one
Okay.
Excel file. So this is my Excel data.
Okay.
Then if we are creating a new data server, in JDBC tab, we need to provide a DSN. Because Excel we can't provide here. See here.
Okay.
For that, you need to create system DSN. Okay. For that, you need to create system DSN for Excel. So actually, currently I'm using Windows 8. Here we don't have a driver for ODBC. So we need to go for Windows sysvao 64. So this we need to use. But if you want to use this one, your ODI should be installed as same version. Okay, 62-bit. It should be 62-bit, or like if you are using 32-bit, you need to use 32-bit.
Okay.
So here you can see Microsoft Excel driver. Select this one. Provide the DSN. Excel DSN. Select your workbook. So my workbook available in like this. This is the way we need to create DSN here. That DSN we need to provide here.
Okay.
Source Excel DS. Username password is not required. And click on test connection. See, it is failing because the specified DSN architecture mismatch between driver and application. So,
Okay.
my ODI version, that is my operating system is not supporting for that ODBC.
Okay.
So, because Windows 8, I searched for driver for Excel, so it is not giving for that 64-bit. So only this 32-bit is available.
Okay.
So if you go 64-bit, if you see here you can't find Excel driver. Okay, remaining everything is same. Only one thing is for Excel means only you need to create DSN. So I have created DSN for Excel. There DSN you need to provide your Excel.
Okay. Okay.
This is your Excel. So it will connect like this. So then that DSN we need to give here. Remaining thing same as your XML, like direct reverse engineering and everything. Only here you need to provide here DSN. Because it's a Microsoft, it will connect only JDBC ODBC bridge driver. JDBC ODBC bridge driver. So that's why we need to give DSN here.
Okay.
So you can try it from your system, because I need to uninstall and I need to install all these things.
Okay.
So remaining everything. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, I mean, the driver, ODBC driver, it's missing, or how is it, Ravi? Normally you will...
Driver for Windows 7, Windows 8, you won't get a 64-bit.
Yours is 64, okay, yours is 64-bit OS, right?
Yeah, OS is 64-bit. So 64-bit you won't get Excel driver for that Excel and other things for ODBC. So you will get only 32-bit. So 32-bit, my ODI is 64-bit. That's why it is saying that architecture mismatch.
Okay. So, okay.
Okay. Go to
Fine.
ODBC data sources in system administration tools. Then go to ODBC, or you can say system DSN tab. Click on add name, you can use DSN. Select your Excel sheet and click on step 1, creating new data server for Excel. Go to physical architecture, technology, Microsoft Excel. Then right click, new data server. Right click, new data server. Name you can use. Then go to JDBC tab, select ODBC, JDBC ODBC driver. Then in JDBC URL, provide created system JSON name. We click on testing. Step 2, creating logical schema for Microsoft Excel technology. Step 3, creating model for Excel technology and doing reverse engineering. So we can go for direct reverse engineering and object type as system type. Step 4, creating new interface to load data from Excel to SQL, and the LKM you can use LKM SQL to SQL. Note for Excel XML we can go for direct reverse engineering and object type as system table, and so object type as system table and LKM as KM we can use SQL knowledge. So this is called Excel and XML. Okay.
So Excel, Ravi, is there any limitations as such with Excel here?
Yeah, Excel. You know about Excel, right? Microsoft Excel.
Yeah.
So Microsoft Excel is different, CSV is different. Excel means that should contain query.
No, that's fine. I mean Excel.
See, CSV file means that doesn't contain any database related, but Excel means it's like act as a database. Okay.
Okay.
And CSV means simply data file. So you can convert this CSV and then you can load it there. But Excel means that contains some query structure that here you can see. If you remove this query, it won't work your Excel.
Okay, so how do you generate this Excel then? I mean, so normally, let's suppose I have I'll export the data directly into an Excel.
Okay.
I won't generate from a SQL. I have a SQL output, but I will save it as an Excel output.
Okay.
So can't we use that one?
No, you cannot use normal Excel like how we are exporting that. So you are exporting from systems. For example, your using SAP or mainframes or some systems, if you are generating XML, Excel files, CSV
Yeah.
file, you will treat as XML. That is not Excel, exactly Excel. That is a data
No,
file.
no, 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 no. Okay, see, CSV you forget. I mean, CSV is a normal data file. I know.
Yeah,
Now, coming to Excel file.
yeah,
Let's suppose I have some of my application has generated on Excel file. It has just the Excel data with the column headings.
yeah.
So
So,
can I use that?
yeah, that directly you cannot use. So because that Excel need a query.
Okay. So how you are generating then that this Excel here now?
See, that's why if you are generating Excel, it will Excel will generate both a query and data. Both it will generate.
Where did you generate that one? From where you did generate it?
So I have generated from SQL developer.
SQL developer only, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, this you can, okay. So now you can do a save as, right?
If you are going for CSV, it won't generate. If you are going for Excel, it will generate that query. See, here is asking data sheet name or query sheet name.
Okay.
If you're not giving anything, I'm going to save desktop. This is okay. And one more thing, whenever you are processing Excel files in ODI, this sheet name should not contain spaces.
Okay.
So the sheet name should not contain spaces. So how you can do? Uh, in formula tab, there is a one defined name is there. Formula tab,
Hmm.
there is option called define
Hmm.
name. So you need to define name here. So why? Because I have
Hmm.
exported from SQL developer. That's why I didn't given any name. See, I gave as empty, right? So empty means it will consider as export worksheet name, default name. So here we
Okay.
need to give a name, emp. Now it will consider as a name. This name it won't consider. It will consider this name. This name.
Okay.
So I already defined. See here, name is already defined here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is the you need to remember the thing. While exporting from anything like any system, if you are not giving a name, a sheet name you need to define manually. If the sheet name is
Okay.
not defined, so Excel default will create as a some space, export space your sheet name, default sheet 1, sheet 2 like that. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
ODI will not consider that. Why? Because it will treat as a SQL. Here two words are there. So always table name or any object name should be single word, right?
Okay.
So that's
Yeah.
why
Yeah.
if you want to consider that, it will throw error. So you need to define one name at here. Otherwise, if you are exporting as directly with a name, it will consider that. Okay.
Okay.
So that
So
is yes.
okay. So then so it's obviously definitely we have to put a SQL query in the second sheet.
Yes,
So
without
is it
query, this doesn't understand that how it will get that header and data, right?
but I mean, see, data file we have, there is no query and we have directly used the, I mean, the first column it is mentioned as a header part.
Yeah,
So can't it understand from Excel that it is a first column as a header part?
that's why Microsoft design is like that. The Microsoft design means that ODBC grids can understand only based on the queries. It's a database, right? Microsoft Excel also is a database.
Correct only.
So that's why that architecture is like based on the query, this ODBC grids can understand that. Okay, the header level part can understand that. Otherwise, it that doesn't understand that what is the sheet, and what that sheet contain, so like that. That's why we are creating a DSN for Excel.
Right. DSN, okay. Okay, yeah.
See, this is not a file. So file means directly we are connecting, but DSN means it's like act as a database.
Yeah, DSN it's a linkage. Yeah, so it is. I mean, the driver it is making to understand how, right?
Yeah,
It's a it's a bridge.
it's like
Yeah,
connecting like a server.
correct. It's adapter. It's adapter actually. So
Yeah,
DSN is an adapter. Yeah.
adapter for your ODBC driver.
Yeah. I mean, one OS to the database.
Yes,
Adapter between OS and database.
yes.
Okay. Okay.
Like connectivity.
So yeah, connectivity. I understand. So only thing is, I mean, normally, I mean, in Excel, normally we will get the data only from. I mean, we will not have a queries there. We export the data. So we have to make then that is a data file only. So to use Excel, we have to make it as a CSV
So if
only.
you're not receiving as a queries, so you have to go for file processing here.
Okay. Yeah.
Otherwise, go for Excel if you are receiving queries.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. This is Excel and XML. Excel we never used because we used to directly converting files like CSV and other format files. Then we are processing.
That's what I mean. This is a very big limitation. So if
Yeah,
you
it's like a
definitely have.
complex process and the two drivers, right? Again, it is a lengthy process and a slow also.
What is the lengthy process here to creating a DSN?
No, lengthy means you are connecting ODBC, again you are connecting your ODI. So again, the conversion will be ODBC bridge, right? Your operating system level.
Yeah.
So JDBC bridge at ODI level, but ODBC bridge at your operating system level.
Yeah.
That network connectivity, like it is depending on your ODBC bridge.
Mm-hmm.
So compared JDBC, ODBC is slow as per processing network process.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why better to go for the file processing.
Okay.
Then subqueries
Okay.
or allow interface or reusable interface. So this is the different names we will call subqueries or allow interface or a reusable interface. So whenever
Allow
you are
interface.
creating interface without a target table, that interface we will call as allow interface without target table. For example, here I am going to create one interface. I'm going to create one interface, that is, you can say DEPT interface. Then I'm specifying my source logical schema here. Source logical schema. Go to mapping tab. I don't have a target table. Here I'm giving simply name, that is temporary target DEPT.
Mm-hmm.
Query. You can say. Then I'm dragging only my source table. Dragging only my source table. This columns I'm adding into target. This column I'm adding into my target.
Okay.
Then go to flow tab. So select only IKM, incremental update or control up and anything. Then save this one. So while saving, it will save as yellow color. See here.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So this, because of this reason, we will call as allow interface. Allow interface means without target table, you are creating a target table, that is called allow interface. Then this interface we can use as source in other interfaces. This interface we can use as source in other interface. I am going to create one more interface, EMP-DEPT interface.
Mm-hmm.
Here I have a, okay. So this is my EMP DEPT table. I'm reverse engineering that table. So this is my EMP DEPT table having both tables columns. From source I am using EMP table. Okay, from source I am using EMP table. For DEPT columns I am using this interface. Okay.
Okay.
See, from source one table I am using, in place of another table I am using as DEPT. Now you can use this. See, DEPT underscore query it is naming. Then, okay, then you can join these two now. So this is a join. Okay. Then go to click at it, you can see the join. It's a remote join.
Okay.
But here you will get one option called click on your yellow interface. Down you can see one option called use temporary interface as derived table subquery. You need to select this option. Okay. So this is not a table, this is a interface, but it will act as a subquery. Okay. I will show that. Click on execution button. Click on execution button. There is one simulation option available in ODI. This option will give a complete report, will give a complete execution report for your execution. For example, if you run your interface, how it is processing means all your source code and the target code, everything it will show. That is called, without background execution, it will run and it will give a report for your complete execution. That is called simulation. Simulation means we will get a complete execution log or execution status report.
Okay.
I am clicking the simulation. Okay. Target table don't have a primary key. We enable the flow control. Then see, I am using simulation. Simulation means it won't run your session, so it won't load data. Simply it will give a report. That is called simulation. See, it will give a complete report. See, this is your generated report. First it will drop your $C table. That is, if you have any data, it will drop. Then it will create your $C table. Then it will select data from source and it will load into your $C table. It will select data from source. While selecting data from source, one is a table. What about the second one? Second one is not a table. Second one is the interface. That interface we are using as a subquery. Now you can see it is giving one query.
Yeah.
So this is called, actually DEPT underscore query is a alias name. That is not a table. So we gave in yellow interface level. So that is called yellow interface. We can use as a source in other interfaces are related to subqueries concept. If you are implementing any subqueries concept, that time you can go for this type of yellow interfaces.
Okay. Okay.
If you have any requirement to use yellow interfaces, you can go for yellow interface.
Okay.
So this is simulation. Simulation means it will give a complete report for your all execution. So currently it is not executed. If you go to operator, you cannot see any session for that. See, only one session, that is previous session. So simulation means it will give a complete background report. Now I am going to execute now. Before executing, I will truncate my target table.
Okay.
Truncated. There is no data. Now I'm going to run this one. You can refresh this. You can go to your source. Here you can see second one is not a table. Second one is hello interface, but it is generated as a subquery.
Okay.
So whatever you are given a name, that will consider as your query name, dept underscore query. Here it will treat as this.
Okay.
Okay, this is called subquery. Hello interface we can use as a source in another interface. Direct interface we cannot use source. Only hello interface we can use as this. And one we need to enable this option called use temporary interface as derived table. So we need to enable this option use temporary interface as derived table. This is hello interface. Hello interface we can use for subqueries, implementation, and we can use hello interface as a source in other interfaces and enabling subquery concept, subquery selection option, or same hello interface we can use for creating target table at runtime. Have you remember we created one more hello interface in last class? Create target table.
Okay. Yeah.
So that is called, if you don't have a target table, you want to create target table, you can go for hello interface. That is enable at IKM level. Enable at IKM level, create target table true. That is also a hello interface. Or you can use a subquery concept, that is also hello interface. So hello interface we can use for two ways. One for subqueries implementation, another for creating target table. Subqueries means you need to use other interface and enable this option. Or you can use a single interface enabling target table creation. So these two called hello interface. Okay. One is for subqueries implementation. Second is for creating target at runtime. These two are subquery hello interface. Okay, or reusable interface.
Okay.
This hello interface we will call as reusable mappings in 12c. We will call reusable mappings in 12c.
Okay.
So here only one interface available. In 12c you will get a two objects. One is mappings, another one is reusable mappings. Okay.
Okay.
So hello interface concept they changed as reusable mappings in 12c. So this is called subqueries implementation in Word. Okay. Next, lookup.
So this is the only way, right, Ravi? Subquery implementation?
Yeah, in interfaces.
Interfaces.
Okay. So lookup. So lookup means if we have any domain table, like if you have a configuration table, that table having very less data, that table having very less data, so that table you are using for validation perspective, so that time we'll go for a lookup table, looking into some table, that is called lookup table. So ODI also providing lookup table concept.
Okay.
In ODI lookup table we can use two ways. One is left outer join, another one is select a class subquery. Left outer join and select class subquery. Left outer join and give me a second. Okay. So now this yellow interface is from class subquery. Okay. So if you want to write subquery in select class, you have to go for lookup. See here, I am going to create one interface. Lookup left outer join. So same your target logical schema. This is my EMP DEPT table. Source I am using EMP table here. Then for DEPT I am using as a lookup table because DEPT having very less data, only 4 records. See here. So this is driving table and your lookup table will be source table only, that is DEPT. Select two tables, common column, this is join condition. Here you can see there are two options. One is left outer joined, another one is SQL expression in select class, that is subquery in select class. So current I will show first one example for left outer join.
Okay.
Now you can go to who? This is your lookup table. This is your lookup table. Lookup table is nothing but same as join only, but compared to normal join, it will give us some better performance. So when we will go for this lookup tables, we will go for lookup tables. Sorry. If any table having very less data, so that time only we will go for lookup table.
Okay.
Share this. See here, you can see diagram. This table looking into this table while selecting data. If data is available, it will select, otherwise it will ignore that data. Okay, that is called lookup. Okay, then
Okay.
I am showing that simulation, how it will generate. So see here, left outer join. You know what is a left outer join?
Yeah. It will look for the data in other right side.
Yes,
Column.
matching data from both tables. If not available also in department table, it will select and it will display from employee table. That is unmatching data from employee table. Equijoin means it will display only matching records, but I don't want to restrict that from my employee table. If that employee information is not available also in department, I need that data. Okay. So that is
Okay.
left outer join. So that is lookup one concept for. See here, there are 50th department not available in department that it is fetched from employee. Why? Because lookup concept is, if we look into department table, if it is available also I need the data, if not available also I need employees data. My main concept is driving table data. This is child table. Okay, lookup means small table data. If the data available, get that. Otherwise, you can ignore that. So that concept is
Okay.
called lookup. Lookup concept is whenever you are going for driving on small table data, that time will go for lookup. It will give a better performance. One method is left outer join. Another method is, I will show that. Now
Okay.
I'm truncating the table. I will execute and I will show that. See, currently there is no data.
Mm.
I'm running my interface. See here, while selecting data here, you can see left out of them. Then data, you can expect that 50th record. It's
Mm.
not available also in table. Driving table, main concept is driving table data. So that is called
Mm.
lookup concept. Then if you are going for subquery, same columns we are using as a subquery. Select
Okay.
class, lookup. Select target logical schema, go to mapping, use EMP DEPT table and the source as EMP table. Then go to quick edit, lookups, click on plus, select your
Mm.
lookup table. Lookup table is department table. Department number, join condition. I'm going to use SQL expression as select class. Save this.
Existed. In. Okay.
Then I'm going to show simulation.
Okay.
So it will generate every column as subquery. Okay.
Mm.
You are clear?
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Earlier it is showing as left outer join. Both result will be same. When you will go for this subquery means you have less columns. If you have 100 or
Mm.
50 columns means don't go for this select class subquery. So better to go for outer join, left outer join. If you have a less column, better to go for subquery, don't go for left outer join.
Okay.
So it will give a better performance compared to left outer join.
Okay.
Okay. So this is called lookup. Like if you have a lookup table, so whenever you are adding a driving table, so that time you can go for these two ways. Now I'm going to truncate my target table. Check the data. There is no data on my target table. If I run my interface, I should get same data what I'm expected in left outer join. So data will be same. The query generation is different. See, data is same,
Okay.
but the query generation, if you go to operator, is different. That is called select class. Okay.
Okay.
So this is called lookup table in ODI.
Okay.
So lookup table we can use two ways. One is
Okay.
left outer join, another one is select class subquery. So if you want to go for a from class subquery, you need to go for yellow interface. You need to go for yellow interface. If you want to go for select class subquery, you can go for lookup.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So actually normal lookup, if you say, I mean, in general terms, normal lookup is actually where you will be getting the data which is available in lookup table. So I mean, normally it will go as a equijoin only, right?
No,
I
no,
mean,
no.
that's what.
Lookup. See, lookup concept means looking into up table,
Looking into.
configuration table. It's like a configuration table.
Correct only. I mean, see, so it means that, I mean, whatever it is, the data is available in that, we will want to get the data. I mean,
If not
for the data
available
for
also,
the.
get the data. So that's why driving table is where your main data. Lookup table
Okay.
means it is not a mandatory, but I'm looking into that table.
Yeah, to verify if the data is exist, then only we want to pick up. That's what actually normal lookup. We will I mean, as per the general concept in database.
So that is
So
like lookup. See, data warehousing lookup means like this. But if you're talking about general lookup, that is we will call as domain configuration table. Okay.
mhm.
So configuration
Okay.
table means, for example, in your project, all those required values you will configure into one table. That is configure, like some values will be there. So whenever you are going for some particular thing, you will validate, and if that data is available, that time you can use that. That is not a lookup table. That is configuration table.
Okay. Okay.
That
Okay.
we don't call as a lookup. That is the configuration table we will call as. Configuration
Okay.
table is different and lookup table is different.
Okay. Okay. So, okay.
You got it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So
For
so with the
example,
configuration. Okay.
in your
Okay.
project, there are 100 interfaces. So
Okay.
100 interfaces, you are maintaining some short names and a interface ID, and there are some related to that jobs you are maintaining that. So whenever you are running
Okay.
that interface, you will enable that all the interfaces like enable or disable. So whenever you are going to
Okay.
the table, if it is enabled, you will run the interface. If that interface is disabled, you won't run that interface.
Okay.
That table is having less data, but some people will call as lookup table, but that is not a lookup table. That is configuration table. Configuration table means it will go to look into the table. If that data is like status is Y, it will get the data. If status is N, it won't get data.
Okay.
So that is different, but this is different. Lookup is different and configuration table is different. You are talking about
Okay.
OLTP projects.
Okay.
OLTP projects will be there domain some tables, but people will call as lookup table only, but is not
Mm-hmm.
exactly lookup table. That is configuration table. Lookup table will be mainly there in data warehousing projects. So that is the concept of lookup concept.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Here, actually, here the concept is a little different. ODA. Okay.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
the DW. Okay.
So then tomorrow we'll go for a CD and CDC two concepts. Tomorrow we'll go for that.
Okay.
Next we'll go for other objects like procedures, packages. Tomorrow I'm going to finish complete interface.
Okay. So and something agents and all, Ravi. I mean, if you look at the course content you sent.
Yeah,
So let.
that I will cover everything. Currently I'm going for
Okay.
only
Okay.
interface related.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So then once we finish the development, then we'll go for production related. That time it will come into the picture of agent.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Fine.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, sir.